Hello and welcome to SFA Now. Today we'll tell you about a sorority and fraternity teaming up for a festive charity event, a program spreading awareness for driving under the influence, and a close look at the Nacogdoches Veterans Day Parade. We will also sit down with the Pine Log's opinion editor, John Cleveland, before we take a look at some creepy critters you might encounter in the woods. All that next, so stay tuned. Welcome back to SFA Now. I'm Justin Hinkle.
And I'm Chloe Bradford.
Drunk driving is a frightening and sometimes overlooked factor in a college student's weekend, and a few groups at SFA are trying to promote awareness for this dangerous behavior. For the past few years, the students of Stephen F. Austin have dealt with many tragedies involving drunk driving. According to recent statistics from Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MAD for short, a person is injured in a drunk driving accident almost every 90 seconds. It has also been estimated that 1 in 3 people will be involved in a drunk driving crash at some point in their lifetime. SFA has seen many of these statistics come true, but organizations on campus have teamed together to try to raise awareness for the effects of driving under the influence. The Alpha Chi Omega sorority, Tau Kappa Epsilon fraternity, and Driving Jacks, an organization that gives rides to intoxicated students, hosted a program called Haley's Story, which tells us how one family has felt the effects of driving under the influence. Stay tuned with us after the break for more on the story. And for anyone looking for a safe ride home on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, please call Driving Jacks at 936-652-6600.
Our East Texas hideout here in Nacogdoches is jam-packed full of historical landmarks and interesting history. But a piece of history you might not know about sits right on Mound Street, just down the road of the downtown square. Nacogdoches is one of the oldest towns in Texas, and there are historical treasures around every corner just waiting to be found. The old Nacogdoches University building is one of those hidden gems. The building was constructed in 1859 to house Nacogdoches University. When the building opened in the fall of 1859, 82 men and women were enrolled. They were taught in 2 separate classrooms located on the first floor of the building and were expected to wear Sunday's best to every class. The building is now a museum displaying many of the original items and the artifacts of the time period. In 1861, the Civil War broke out and the university was converted into a hospital for the Confederate soldiers. It became an official museum in 1960, displaying all kinds of artifacts from the 19th century school. The Civil War hospital and the original rooms of the university. Today, the building is recognized as a local, state, and national treasure. It is open for tours Tuesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. And for more information, contact the old university building at 936-569-7292.
SFA's Greek system is once again aiding in philanthropy efforts as the fraternity Sigma Alpha Mu and the sorority Delta Zeta teamed up to provide family fun while raising money for Turtle Camp and the Alzheimer's Association. It was perfect weather for hopping around a bounce house, tossing bean bags, and some good old-fashioned fishing at Pecan Park this weekend. On Sunday, November 10th, Delta Zeta and Sigma Alpha Mu provided a wide variety of fun-packed activities at their first annual Fall Festival, which took place at Pecan Park. The sorority and fraternity linked up and invited Nacogdoches friends and families out to have a blast by hanging outdoors and enjoying carnival-like games, foods, and activities such as arts and crafts, face painting, and pie tossing. Although the event was centered around fun, the Fall Festival's main objective was to raise money and awareness. All of the proceeds from the Fall Festival went to Sigma Alpha Mu's national philanthropy organization, the Judy Fund, as part of the Alzheimer's Association, and Delta Zeta's philanthropy organization, Turtle Camp.
It's that time of year again where the leaves are turning, the days are shorter, and the campus of Stephen F. Austin State University is being toured by hundreds of potential students who are looking to call SFA home. Saturday, November 16th will be the first of 3 Showcase Saturdays. The admissions department puts on these days to give potential students a chance to get a great look at the SFA campus. Upon their arrival at Showcase Saturday, the hopeful students and their parents will get welcomed to Lumberjack Country by our campus tour guides and will give a detailed look at the Stephen F. Austin State University campus and many of its exciting features. The day will also be filled with different sessions that will allow the students and parents the chance to ask any questions they can think of. The staff in the admissions department is working hard to prepare for this day by organizing the group tours as well as a number of events across campus. The academic fair in the rec center gives the incoming freshmen a chance to talk to people from more than 80 different majors of study on campus. And this showcase will be the only major one on campus this semester, but there will be 2 more showcases in the spring semester. For more information, you can contact the SFA Office of Admissions at 936-468-2504. I'm so excited about the freshmen coming in next year, are you?
Oh yeah, nothing better than a wide-eyed group of freshmen wandering around the SFA campus.
Of course. And if you have any stories that you would like to share with us, be sure to check out our Facebook page and like it at www.facebook.com/SFA Now. If you think anything is newsworthy, please make sure to post it on our wall and share it with us.
Stay with us after the break to learn how an SFA's professor is leading the way in a women's religious movement and an in-depth look at how one girl's death has influenced the lives of thousands of students across Texas. Stay tuned. Welcome back to SFA Now. Once again, I'm Justin Hinkle.
And I'm Chloe Bradford.
Driving under the influence is a major problem across campuses in the United States, but here at Stephen F. Austin, the story of one girl has inspired people to make a change.
Earlier, we shared some information about Haley's story, a program spreading the word on driving under the influence. Here is Michelle Davis with the full scoop on Haley's story.
Haley Nowak was a student at Texas State University who was killed in a drunk driving accident on July 1, 2012. Her mother, Kimberly Nowak, travels to university sharing Haley's story and plans to start a safe ride program like Driving Jacks at Texas State. Alpha Chi Omega, Tau Kappa Epsilon, and Driving Jacks hosted an event on Friday, November 8th at 6 p.m. in the Kennedy Auditorium to hear Haley's story. Kimberly Nowak started the Haley E. Nowak Foundation after Haley's death to promote awareness about drinking and driving. She is also striving to make a safe ride program in the San Marcos and Austin area. The foundation will also be granting scholarships to high school students that will be awarded to the best responses based on alcohol use and social decision making.
I really would want you to know Haley, because as I look around this room and as I've been to other college campuses, you all look so familiar to me. Not because I know you, but because you look just like her and just like her friends.
They are hoping to have their Safe Ride program within the next few months. The organizations involved gave her a donation to get started.
I hope all of you took a little bit away from this, and on behalf of Alpha Chi Omega, Driving Jacks, and Tau Kappa Epsilon, I would like to present a check to the Haley E. Nowak Foundation for $1,000. So here you go.
I'm Michelle Davis reporting for SFA Now.
An SFA professor from the Department of Education has joined a Mormon movement where women within the religion are pushing for gender equality. Here's Justin Booker with the story.
Heather Olson-Beal, Assistant Professor of Education at Stephen F. Austin State University, has recently joined a movement known as the Ordained Women to incite some change in the Church of Latter-day Saints. When asked what the movement hopes to achieve, this is what she says.
Looking for women in the Mormon Church to be ordained to what we call the priesthood.
This movement is not just a national movement, but has branched out internationally.
I think it's a bigger issue than just the Mormon Church. there's still a lot of religions where women don't have equal voice or where women can't be ordained. So I kind of feel like, well, it's not just us, it's a bigger issue, and I've actually had several people in the community reach out to me that are from other religions that have said, hey, this is really interesting, I'm glad that you're doing this.
There is hope for more than just change in the LDS Church as well. On October 5th, 2013, Professor Bill joined two other women at the LDS conference in Salt Lake City, Utah, to try to attend the priesthood session, a male-only session. Though they were not allowed to enter, she still felt like something had been achieved.
Get in. We were told that we weren't going to get in, so I wasn't surprised by that. I think a lot of people felt like really surprised by how hurtful it felt to actually be told you cannot come here. No matter how much you have invested or how much of your life, whatever you've invested in the Mormon Church, you can't come in because you're male. I felt like that a little bit, but for the most part, I felt really strong, and I felt really energized by all the women that were there, and I felt like we were, united around a cause. There were some people there that I'd only met previously, online. So for me, it was really exciting and cool. I guess it was very exciting, even though we were rejected ultimately.
Reporting live from SFA Now, this is Justin Booker.
If you would like to know more information about the movement, visit www.ordainedwomen.org.
In honor of Veterans Day this past week, a parade was hosted in downtown Nacogdoches honoring those who have put their lives on the line for our freedom. Kaylee Holdridge has the story.
Last Saturday, Nacogdoches County Sheriff's Office held its annual Veterans Day Parade. Veterans were among those who participated in the parade, as well as onlookers. Local veteran Donald Snyder told SFA Now his favorite part of the parade. The Grand Marshal for the parade was James Buck Lee, who proudly served his country in the United States Marine Corps. The entire community came out to support these hometown heroes, including the Patriot Guard, local politicians, Nacogdoches Police Department, as well as the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts of Nacogdoches. The parade followed the traditional route through the downtown area along Hospital and Main Streets. Citizens lined the sidewalks waving flags and showing their appreciation. As a veteran, Snyder recalls his favorite part of Veterans Day. Rounding out the parade was the Nacogdoches High School Marching Band. Directly after the parade, Hotel Fredonia offered a special luncheon for veterans and their guests. Thanks to the community, the parade was a success in honoring local veterans, but veterans around the United States. Reporting for SFA Now, this is Kaylee Holdridge.
Wow, I'm incredibly thankful for our veterans.
Oh yes, it's great celebrating our veterans and all they do for us. Now, stay tuned with us after the break because we will have John Cleveland, the Pine Log's opinion editor, to discuss this week's issues. And remember to like us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/SFA Now.
And during the break, like us on our Facebook, like he just said. And if you have any stories you would like to see here posted on our wall, and maybe you will get to see it here soon.
Just maybe. Welcome back to SFA Now. We are joined by John Cleveland, opinions editor from the Pine Log. John, how are we doing today?
Doing pretty good, hanging in there. How are y'all doing?
I'm
Good,
doing all right,
thank
man.
you.
I'm hanging in there as well.
So let's get right to it.
Okay.
First off, you are writing in this week's opinion page. Now, before you answer what this week you have written about, what is an opinions page?
Okay, well, you've got the hard news section of the paper, which is most of it, and those stories try to remain objective. They just talk about the facts. The opinions page can go a little bit farther than that, and I think it's designed to get students starting a conversation about issues on campus is mainly the objective of the page. So.
Very cool, very cool. Now, when you're choosing topics for the opinions page, how do you go about choosing the different subjects that are going to grasp a student audience?
Well, we all talk about it as a staff, we have our weekly staff meetings, and sometimes it's brought up there, or we'll, use our Facebook thread, and we'll just push ideas back and forth amongst each other and come to a consensus at the end, and we go with that.
Good.
Cool. So what has been this week's opinion in the opinion page?
Well, a lot of students got an email about the SFA anti-bullying initiative. So this week, it talks about how bullying is more than just playground antics, wedgies, swirlies, that sort of thing. It talks about cyberbullying and how bullying goes on throughout your life, no matter what age you are. It just kind of changes forms as we get older.
That's incredible for students of SFA, because many people don't know that, elementary and middle school people get bullied, but people still get bullied in college. And it's more than just face-to-face. There's cyber, people text and bully as well.
It gets a little nastier once you get to college,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
For sure. Now, kind of off subject a little bit, but what is it like, being a senior and writing for a campus newspaper, trying to attract that student audience? How do you go about that each day?
Well, I try and be interesting. The paper's there to inform, but there's also an entertainment aspect to it. And I get to be a little bit more entertaining with my page than some of the other writers, because it doesn't have to be just the facts. I can add my own little spin on things. And I try and be fair to all parties involved and add a little bit of color to it. So.
Good.
So what has been your most entertaining thing you've written about?
Well, I don't know if I'm the person to ask about that. You'd have to ask the student body. I liked my story on the sexualization of Halloween costumes.
Wow.
So.
Sounds like an interesting topic there. I'm sure we could get off on that for a little while, but I have to ask now, you're a senior journalism major?
That's right.
Okay. So what do you plan on doing when you get out? You trying to work for a newspaper? You trying to?
I don't know. I don't really like the news. No, kidding. Of course, I want to work for a newspaper. It's a tough industry. People hear about it on the news all the time. Print publications are going down. Everyone thinks news is dying. But that's not the case at all. There'll always be a need for news to be disseminated to the mass. And whatever role I can play in that is what I plan to do when I graduate.
So what has been the difference? Has there been a major difference in writing for the Pine Log versus writing for the Daily Sentinel?
Well, mainly that everything in the Pine Log tries to be geared towards the students. And sometimes that's almost a challenge, because it makes the stories that you can write a smaller pool to pick from, because it needs to apply to students. So with the Sentinel, it's just anything community, and there's a lot more opportunities for stories with the Sentinel. But I enjoy them both.
Very cool, very cool. Well, we'd love to talk to you a little more, but unfortunately, we've got to take a break. Now stay tuned with us, as we'll give you a hands-on look, literally, at some creepy crawlers up next. Oh boy.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Here we go.
Welcome back once again. We are joined here by Elise Rodewald for perhaps the creepiest segment we've ever had on SFA Now. It's the Creepy Crawlers event. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Good. Good.
Now, tell us a little bit about the Creepy Crawlers event that's going on now.
Creepy Crawlers is an outdoor adventure family day at the Piney Woods Native Plant Center this Saturday from 9 to 12. And it's designed to give families and members of our community a sort of a safe look at some of the animals that they might see in the woods in East Texas.
Speaking of some of the animals that they might see in the woods of East Texas, I see you have 3 little visitors with you today.
We have another guest down here,
Oh,
actually.
Yes. There's plenty.
Plenty.
There's plenty. Don't worry,
Yes.
viewers. Oh, look, a box. Okay, so please tell us
Okay.
the 3 critters you brought with you
Well,
today.
I brought 3 of the animals that you'll also see this weekend at the Creepy Crawlers event. The first one is a millipede, and
Wow.
millipedes are arthropods that actually live in the forests of East Texas, and they eat decaying plant material.
Do you want me to hold that?
Yeah, I would love for you to hold that.
goodness,
You just
are you kidding?
here. You can just
Woo! How does that feel?
be calm. They don't really have 1,000 legs. I haven't actually counted how many this one has, but there's lots and lots of different kinds of millipedes, and they're a very important part of the ecosystem as decomposers.
Very cool. You said they're decomposers. So
Yes, they are. So they eat decaying plant material, dead wood, things like that. And you'll often find them in the leaf litter of the forest.
Because it's a family event, will little kids get to hold them and play with them?
Yes,
Sounds
they
like
will.
I think a little
fun.
kid is holding one right now.
Yes.
Playing with it
Okay.
right now.
I tell you what, do you want to hang on to that one for just a minute?
Sure.
And I'll bring out another decomposer.
Yes, let's see what else you brought with
in
you.
In a whole different group, though. This is called a best beetle. It's actually an insect. And these feed on usually decaying hardwoods.
Oh my goodness.
So they're pretty impressive, but again, they're pretty harmless to people, but they're very important parts of the ecosystem as decomposers. So these are best beetles.
So they do kind of the same type of thing as
Yes.
my little friend here.
Absolutely.
Is, decompose wood and eat off of things like that.
Right, right. So they're a very important part of the forest ecosystem.
Very
And
cool.
so these, like I said, are insects. They have 3 body parts, 6 legs. You can see their antenna there exploring along this little piece of wood. So, and you can also find their larvae oftentimes in the decaying wood. And so the larva is very impressive too.
I don't think he wants to hang out on my hand
Okay,
anymore.
I'll take it.
There we go.
There you go.
How long have y'all been putting on this Creepy Crawlers
Well,
event?
the Nacogdoches Naturally Outdoor Family Adventures have been going on for about 4 years. And so we have several events throughout the year, and this is just the last one for this season.
Very cool.
Now, out of the 4 years you've done it, which has been your favorite species so far?
Oh, well, every year we've had honeybees, we've had the best beetles, we've had snakes at the Creepy Crawlers event, and the families will also have an opportunity to actually go out in the forest at the Native Plant Center and look for some of the real life creatures that live right there at the Native Plant Center. So.
Speaking of snakes, shall we introduce our
Yeah,
third
I
it's in
will.
this box right here.
I will introduce our third.
Chloe does not want that box
Our
anywhere
third
near her
friend.
right
I'm
now.
gonna, let me bring him over here.
Okay.
This snake you probably would not see in nature. This is a rat snake with
A
rat snake with a genetic kind of abnormality. It's called leucistic. So it has brown eyes. It's not a true albino.
Just got chills.
Okay. But rat snakes definitely do occur at the Native Plant Center in the woods of East Texas. They're very common. And so a typical rat snake is black and gray or a brownish color. So this one is just missing its pigment. So yeah,
Now
they are. They're very,
Not,
they're
the
very
snake is
beautiful.
not, I assume you didn't bring a poisonous snake.
No,
out.
this snake actually feeds by constricting, and it feeds on rats and mice.
Okay.
Yes, rats, mice, birds, eggs, things like that. So
I feel like
yeah,
it's
just
looking
pretend
right at
pretend you're a tree branch.
Oh!
Okay, and it's looking for warmth. So
Look at
that's
that.
why he's going up your sleeve.
That's a snake
Yeah,
hanging in my
there it
sleeve.
goes.
Okay.
The
John,
tongue
what do you
is
think
used-
about this, John?
Very handsome snake.
He's a
Would you
good-looking
like to
snake.
hold it?
Yeah, John,
Would
you
you
want
like to hold it,
to
John?
Yeah.
take?
Okay, here we go.
Let's pass this off.
So the snake, you can see the tongue is kind of
hole in my
moving in
wrist.
and out, and that snake is used to smell. And
Wow.
so he's just kind of checking out the environment here.
Definitely checking everything out.
Okay, there you go. And just kind of hold your hands open, let him slide on through.
John, maybe we
He'll
should
feel
get
like
the,
he's
the
in a tree.
opinions.
They're very good climbers.
Get
So
And
you
he's
have-
going to look
Students'
for
opinions
some place
on this,
that's warm.
Uh-huh. It loves you, John. Now you have many different species here.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell us about some of the species that you didn't bring with
Yeah.
you today.
What
Well,
else do you
we'll
have?
have members from the East Texas, the Piney Woods Beekeepers Association. We'll actually have a live beehive that you can observe. We'll have some crafts and some creepy crawly
So bees,
snacks as
and
well.
everything else.
Yes.
Now, that looks like all the time we have for today. And for more information for the Creepy Crawlers event or Meet the Crawlers, the Creepy Crawlers, email lemonbeecat@sfasu.edu or call at 936-468-5586. And thank you again, John, and you for Elis, for bringing your Creepy Crawlers here. and the viewers for tuning in to SFA Now. I am Chloe Bradford.
Justin Hinkle. Wow.